भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Read from 10th verse. यदेवेह तदा मुत्र यदमुत्र तदन्विह मृत्युसमृत्युमाप्नोति य इह नानेव पश्यति मनसैवेदमाप्तव्यम् नेह नानास्ति किंचन मृत्युसमृत्युं गच्छति य इह नानेव पश्यति अंगुष्ठमात्रः पुरुषः मध्यात्मनि तिष्ठति ईशानं भूतभव्यस्य न ततो विजुगुप्सते एतद्वैतत् अंगुष्ठमात्रः पुरुषः मध्ये आत्मनि तिष्ठति ईशानं भूतभव्यस्य न ततो विजुगुप्सते एतद्वैतत् We had seen till 10th verse. From 5th verse to 10th verse was the mention of Sarvatma Bhav. Atma alone is there. First two verse was about the censor of extrovertedness. And third and fourth verse was about the nature of the consciousness. So till we had seen till 11th verse. And 11th verse was mentioned that in the knowledge of the Atma, a thought is required, a specific thought. So when it is said that Atma is not known by the mind, it has two meanings. One meaning is it is not known by unprepared mind. It is not a qualified mind, is not there. What was the mantra which said that Atma has to be known by a subtle mind? What was that mantra? Drishyate tu agraya buddhya. Drishyate tu agraya buddhya. Sukshmaya Sukshmadarshibhi. What is the first line? Esha sarveshu bhuteshu gudhotmana prakashate. This Atma is known by the subtle mind. Subtle mind means what? Subtle mind means which can negate the name and form, which is devoid of strong rag and dvesh. Rag and dvesh make the mind very gross, make the mind ineffective to penetrate and go beyond. Some gross thought will occupy the person. So this was mentioned. So I'm telling why it is said that Atma cannot be known by the mind. So, and second thing, when it is said that Atma cannot be known by the mind, that means you cannot objectify the Atma. I explained it yesterday that Atma we cannot objectify. Why cannot it? Because it is already all pervasive. It is not one localized thing. Atma is not a localized thing that we can objectify. So what is the meaning of it is known by the thought? I already explained yesterday that we are not knowing the Atma by the thought. We have the thought that Atma is not limited. This is the thought through which we don't know the Atma, but we remove the ignorance of finitude in the Atma. Okay, so keep these points clear. If it is not clear, then don't worry. Slowly you will get clarity. Everything happens very slowly only. So Bhashyakar writes, Prag ekatva vijnanad acharya agama samskritena manasaidam. So this mind is cultured by the teacher and the scriptures. And that mind is worth knowing. That mind is subtle enough. That means that mind is able to understand by Shravan and Manan. You know, there are three processes I have told or not. For knowing, there are three processes. One is called Shravan. Shravan means listening. Other is called Manan. And third is called Nididhyasan. What is the purpose of these three? Shravan is meant to remove ignorance and assert what is the nature of the Atma. That is the purpose of the Shravana. What is the purpose of Manan? What you have heard. If you have still some doubts in it, because you may have some personal questions. How Atma is all pervading? How is it that Atma cannot be objectified? Why Atma cannot be objectified? What is the status of world with respect to Atma? This is the doubts may be there. But if you are not thinking, then no doubts will be there. Only when you will think, you will have some doubts. Two people have no doubt. First, one who is totally ignorant, another who is totally knowledgeable. I keep you in the second category, don't worry. So, if the doubts are there, the process through which you remove doubts is called Mananam. Okay. I heard a lot that Atma cannot be objectified. So, Manan is removal of the ignorance. Shravan is removal of the Shanka, doubts. Shanka. So, in Shravan, we use the Pramana. Pramana, means of knowledge. That is, the scriptures are the means of knowledge. And in Manan, we are now removing the faults of the Pramata. Pramata means one who has known he has not understood properly. So he sufficiently he should have manan. And last comes nididhyasan. Nididhyasan means some emotional problem is there. There is a strong person who has emotional problems. So going into a specific system of solitude and deliberately repeating the thought of oneness of Atma and Brahman for a long time at the exclusion of all other thought is nididhyasa. Why? Because you are crowded by a negative, a wrong thought. Of this thought is there that I am very sad today. I am very sad, and plus I am upset. Both combination is there. I am angry also, sad also, regretful also. Chalo तीन लगा एक और लगा. And I am fearful also. So I am angry also, sad also, fearful also. And all this combination is there. And I am the student of Vedanta. I heard Vedanta not for 6 weeks, years. You won't get clarity otherwise. Well, years I'll die before that. No, you won't die. You please are listening. So you hear that, and you did lot of manan also. Why? Yesterday I was talking about that. Why Atma should be not in the body. Why body should be in the Atma. A lot of questions may be there. Lot of questions may be there. When we move, who moves? Atma is moving or not moving? No. Then who is moving? Then reflected consciousness is moving, not the original consciousness. Sufficient you have done churning process. But somewhere there is a blockage. Emotional block. I have some personalities which are not able to go. They are like a wall. They are not. I am not able to internalize by knowledge. I feel I am a husband. I feel I am a wife. I feel I am very sad. Whatever personalities are, they are to be dealt in ICU. This ICU department is nididhyasa. Then you are excluded from everybody. Doctor will say, please move away. Relatives are more sometime. Indians have a lot of relatives. Sometimes they drop in the airport, one person is going. 20 people have come to drop him. Lot of relatives. A doctor has come. He said, what are you doing here? Well, I have come to see the patient. No, please go out. Move away. No, but this is not visit time. No, visiting time also you can't have a lot of people. We have a lot of infections here. Please go away. Please move forward. Here doctors don't scold or what? They scold. In India they scold very badly. I don't see doctors scolding here. Huh? Security is there. Their doctors scold badly. Please move away. You are an educated person. You don't know that patient is there, he is unwell, he is already under observation and you are coming. And what have you brought this? Achar. Hut, down. You can't have achar here. You cannot eat all this food. Please go out. Get out. Nurse, give me readings. So nurse will give you the reading. Morning 7 o'clock, temperature list is there. Blood pressure is there. You don't ask any question. Again the person comes, again he gets scolded. Don't get out. This meditation is ICU department. You exclude everything. And you attend the patient eye in you. The patient eye, which has a pain in it. Who is having the infection of ignorance? Now, this has to be removed away. And who is the doctor? What you have learned in listening for so many days, you bring that knowledge. So bringing that knowledge which you have learned from the teacher, by yourself with effort, so that wrong eye can be removed from me, infection can be removed from me. I have nothing to do with this wrong eye. This deliberate attempt in exclusive system, and you are excluding all other anatma thoughts, that is dhyanam. I think I had told about dhyanam one of the days. It is like you are internalizing the knowledge. When I was taking that mantra, Yachet Vang Manasi Pragya, बोलो भाई, तद्यच्छेद ज्ञानमात्मनि ज्ञानमात्मनि महति नियच्छेद तद्यच्छेद शांतात्मनि. If you don't by heart, you'll never be able to bring it at will. This is the processes are there. Well, everybody needs meditation. 99%. Unless somebody has knowledge straight away. So this takes out my emotional problem, my attachment to somebody, aversion to somebody. I objectify and falsify my wrong personality. I objectify and falsify my wrong thoughts, which has become one with me. I am trying to say they have nothing to do with me, which were one with me and becoming my character. I say they are not my character at all. And I subjectify the thought of Brahman. This is the process of meditation. And meditation has to be done for years and together. And if it is not successful, then we have to continue in the next birth also. That depends how much strong is the wrong personality. Years together, yes. I thought morning I will do, evening will be fine. No. You will have cold only from morning to evening. So, manasai vedam aptavyam. Therefore, people give life for it. People, seekers, give life for knowing the self. They leave aside everything. Which log this was said? That they give up everything. Tapamsi sarvani chayat vadanti. Second volume. So we saw this in 11th verse. So hope the topic is clear to you now. Clear now? So you are coming with a prepared mind now. Sanskrit, without too much of attachment, without too much of anger, etc. Now next verse, next two verses, 12th and 13th verse, they are Mahavakya. I had told what is Mahavakya. What is Mahavakya? What is that? So that statement which established the oneness of Jiva and Ishvara, or which established that Atma is not bound by time and space, that statements are called Mahavakya. So let us now see this 12th verse. Now you are entering into more and more Vedanta. It is said here, Angushtamatra Purusha Madhye Atmani Tishtati Ishano Bhuta Bhavyasya Na Tato Vijugupsate Etat Vaitat. What is said here? There is one Purush. His name is Angushtamatra Purusha. One Purush is there whose size of the thumbs up. So what is said here? Dhyan dena, please note one point here. There is something called body, which I can see and you also can see. In that body there is something called heart, physical heart, which pumps. It is on the size of this only. They say physical heart is this size. This size. This side is the heart. Therefore blood pressure you have to measure from this side. And it is pumping like that. Angushta, acha, physical heart is there. Chale aage? In that physical heart, there is something called mind. Dhyan dena, please be careful. What I am going to say is important thing now. What is not important? Every mantra says this is very important, this is very important. So in the body there is a physical heart and that mind. Mind is made out of 5 elements. Subtle 5 elements. Very good. So mind is not a physical thing, no? But that mind is obtained in the physical heart. How come? You said in the thought only object is there. The headquarter, there is something called headquarter. Headquarter, you understand? What? Where there is a physical expression. It is called headquarter. Like government of South Africa is where in India? Where in South Africa? Everywhere. But if I want to approach office, I have to go to Pretoria. So that is called headquarter where something is obtained. Like you are in which part of your body? You are everywhere. But supposing I have to talk to you, I will talk seeing your face and eyes only. Not I will see your hand or how are you? I won't see your hand. Got my point? Although you are everywhere, but your moods etc. are most reflected on your face only. Well, you see his face is hanging today. That means he's upset. You don't say his stomach is hanging. That anyway hangs. So, anger has nothing to do with the hanging stomach. Like the face is the headquarter through which you express. Got my point? So seeing the face, well, he is shining today. He is very bright. I think you had a good sleep in the night. You are looking very bright, brilliant. Well, from the face I can see that he is very brilliant. They say also face is the index of mind and heart. Now face you can make it. Face the headquarter. Or you are looking very ill today. You are not well or what? How do you know? From face I can see your eyes are like that. What has happened? You have not slept properly, I think, and you are looking very weak. So your emotions of sadness, anger also reflects on the face only. Hand doesn't reflect anger. Well, seeing your hand, I can see you're very angry. Angry, you can't make it out. Only face you can see. See how much eyes he is here. He's seeing me like that. Like that he's seeing. And sometimes when the parents have to scold children, so in somebody's house they went, so biscuit etc. was bought. Now this child immediately went and took the biscuit without telling. How to scold in front of her? The mummy. How are you? So like that is there. And then they come back and scold him. Very bad manners is there. Why did you take biscuit there? No, I'm hungry, mummy. I'm hungry. We don't give you biscuit or what? Immediately you went and took the biscuit. Everywhere. When Swamiji was eating, why you are standing and taking his from this plate? Don't go when Swamiji is eating. There only you are taking something. So by the eyes you say. So although you are in the whole body, but you are expressing through your brilliancy, your greatness or foolishness, much expresses through your face. So face as if is the headquarter of your mind, intellect, knowledge also. If a brilliant person is there, you can see from his face that he is brilliant. You can see. If you go to and see the pilot is there, you can see that they are quite an alert person is coming. Dull alert person cannot be pilot. You will forget. He'll forget whether plane is flying or it is stationary. He'll forget. Or very brilliant doctor is there. You can make it out that. But it is expression of you are in the whole body. Get what my point? Now, there is something called our emotions are there. Emotions are my mind is there. But the headquarter of the mind is somewhere near physical heart. And therefore you say, my heart is saying. When you say, my heart is saying like that, you point it like here. You don't point in the somewhere else. My stomach is saying. Or my heart is saying. I'm telling you. We don't point somewhere else. Or you don't pat the back. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Who? I. You may have itching problem or something. But when you point that I am saying, you always point towards your heart. Who came yesterday? I came. I came. Yesterday evening, morning, yes, I came. You always point. Got my point? What? The physical heart is not mind. But inside the physical heart, there is a headquarter of mind where you express through that. Physical heart is not mind because in the death, physical heart is burned. But mind is not burnt. Similarly, brain is also physical thing. But mind is not a physical thing. Mind is full of thoughts. And thoughts and physical things are different. Its expression is there. Okay. I hope you are right. How you understood that point. So within the body, there is a physical heart. Within the physical heart, there is a mind. Expression. I'm repeating it. Don't think that mind is some small because heart is so small. Inside the mind, there's a hole also. And in that hole is the mind. That means you say mind is so. No. If you say that mind will be either of Panchmabhut in that case, which is not the case, because mind is not a thought is not made out of 5 elements. Tell me why. Thought is not made out of 5 elements. How will you prove it? Huh? Somebody say, huh? In the dream state, when 5 elements are not there, then still mind is there. That means mind does not have to do with the 5 elements. Anything which is the gross 5 elements, they are left out in the waking. They can't have entered into the dream. But the thought is in the dream. That means it is not a part of the physical 5 element. And therefore thought is inside that. It is expressing through that. So we have two things. One is intellect, which determines, and which is mind is feels. So both two vital organ we have. One is heart, other is brain. The brain is there. You say, well, this person has a lot of grey matter. Brain is there. They say left brain is there, right brain is there. Left brain is for artists and all this I don't understand. But I'll tell you, brain is a physical organ or not? Brain is a physical organ. They have tumor in the brain. Brain operation is there. Stroke is because of the brain. But intelligence is not a physical organ. Intelligence is not a physical organ. Mind is not a physical organ. Then if that brain having defect, can the intelligence of the person work? If the brain of a person has some defect, he has tumor, cancer, whatever is there, that intelligence cannot work. But brain is not mind and intelligence. If brain was mind and intelligence, then with the death of the body, brain is also burned. Then that mind and intelligence also will be burned. That means there will be no new birth. Then how can the person bring the same mind in the next birth? Because the person brings the past birth's mind. That means the brain is not burnt. That means the mind was not burnt. That means brain is not mind. Brain is not intelligence. Then what is the relation between the brain and the intelligence? Brain is a very sophisticated headquarter to express the mind and intelligence. And without headquarter, the intelligence won't operate. Same thing. So heart expresses the emotions and brain expresses the intelligence. Well, I am thinking it. When you say I feel, you use here. I feel for you. You don't say I feel for you. You say I'm thinking. I'm thinking. You use here all the time. I'm thinking. Thought came. Thought struck to me. You don't say thought is struck. You say I feel. I feel for you. I'm for you. That means this brain is a very, 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 very sophisticated headquarter which is connected to all body. And when the anesthesia is given, they put a nurse so that the nerves is numb. Nerves going to that specific organ is numb. Therefore, there is no sensation on that specific organ. And therefore, there is no expression that that particular part is numb. Similarly, this spinal cord is there. With the spinal cord, spinal cord is like a conduit. And in that conduit runs all that nerves. And from that connection is there of the brain with the hand, leg, eyes, everything is connected with the brain here. Your eyes are connected, your ears are connected, your hands are connected. Every portion is well connected with the brain. Therefore, if brain is not there, this is a brain dead person. Sometimes if the whole part can be paralyzed and this part can be very nice. Because the nerves which were going has been cut. If somebody spinal cord is short or something happens, then this whole body will be gone. This person will be like a vegetable. But upper part he can be very alert, like Stephen Hawking was there. Like that it is possible is there. He was very alert, an intelligent person. Now he is no more. But he couldn't move anything. He used to be like this on the wheelchair from England, Stephen Hawking. So understood the difference between mind and heart and brain and intelligence. I can only hope. So bole what? Inside there is a body. Inside the body is a physical heart. Inside the physical heart is a headquarter of mind. And that headquarter of mind has a sakshi, has a witness. One who knows those thoughts. That witness is picturized here as Angushtamatra Purusha, one who has thumbs up. Not that Sakshi is thumbs up, because Sakshi doesn't have a shape. It is a picturization that this Sakshi is like thumbs, like he is there as a witness of the thought. Like I am witness of my sad thought. When you say I am very sad, so you will always point out towards your heart, like as if sadness is here. I am very sad. I am feeling for you. I was very, very moved. Who? I. As if thought is here. You are behaving as if his thought is here. But actually thought, this is the expression of the thought is here. Not the thought is lying down here. Otherwise from the operation you can take it out. But nikal liya thought. This is the thought of sadness. This is anger thought. From today you will be free from anger. Regular thought. Anger thought वापस कर दे उनको. So it is not like that. Got my point? So Angushtamatra Purusha. So Angushtamatra Purusha is for what? Jaldi bolo. Consciousness. Witness consciousness. Witness consciousness is given the name Angushtamatra Purusha. Who is like a thumbs. Madhye Atmani Tishtati. Here Atmani means Sarire. In the body it is situated. अब देखो, this first line is the Jivatma. Second line is a big jump, very big jump, not high jump, highest jump. One is called broad jump, other is called high jump. So what is this jump? Ishanam Bhuta Bhavyasya. This Angushtamatra Purusha is the Lord of past and future. ये कहाँ से आ गया? What is this, sir? My dear, come near and be clear so that you have no fear. And you know that you are seer. Okay. Ishanam Bhut Bhavyasya. He is the Ishwar of all. Who? This Angushtamatra Purusha. How come? Because Ishwar is the consciousness conditioned by the Samashti Maya. So we are not talking about the Ishwar along with the conditioning. We are talking of Ishwar without conditioning is the consciousness. So that consciousness which is the illuminator of the thought in my heart, same consciousness is the one on which Maya is superimposed. Ishanam Bhut Bhavyasya. So he is the Lord of past. And he is the Lord of future also. Who? That Ishwar. So Ishwar, what is the first line? Is about Jivatma. And second line is about the Ishwar. And both are equated. And both equated means what? Not the conditioning, but the essence of both is same. And one who knows this, na tato bijugupsate, he doesn't have anger. Why? Because he sees oneself only. Where the anger will come? Where he will be sad about that? What is the problem now? After that, he is not identified with the body. It is only when you identify with one body, then problem will start. But in the consciousness, there is no relation. In the consciousness, there is no loss. In the consciousness, there is no doership. In the consciousness, there is no fear. So one who is situated there, he will not be affected by outer things. Etad vaitat. Huh? That this is etad vaitat is like the pet word here of Yamraj. So etat this jeev is that Brahman.